Hello everyone, welcome to Gypsy Jazz Fridays episode 14. And in today's episode we're going to take a look at a solo that Django played on the song Dark Eyes, or also called Les Yeux Noirs. Django recorded a couple of versions of this tune, all with famous solos. There's at least 3, but there might even be more. And today I want to take a look at not his most famous solo, which is the solo that everybody plays, but this is my favorite solo. It's a solo that's recorded in 1940, and it's a little bit slower than the other versions, but it is very swinging and all the lines are great. So it's 4 choruses, and in this video I'm going to take a look at the first 2 choruses, and then immediately after I'm going to record a video especially for my patrons with the last 2 choruses, and this video will be available for everybody from the $10 level and up. The previous 2 solos of Django I made exclusively for my Giant Steppers tier, but this one will be available for everyone that joins at the 5 months pro tier, the $10 tier and up. So let's just get started, and we're going system by system. So this is the first system, and it starts with a pickup bar, and then I'll continue on with the rest of the line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. One, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. There's nothing specifically difficult about this, just make sure that you count out the rests, that you're not too early. This is the effect. I do an upstroke, pull off, and then just alternate. And then the same thing. So I slide back with my first finger and back up. So let's play that with the backing track. There's a backing track on my channel, specifically with this version, because normally today people play these changes. They play A7, D minor, A7, and then they go to B flat 6, and then to G minor. But in this version, and I think actually maybe almost all versions of Django, he's going to D minor twice. He's not going to B flat. It's just A7, D minor, back to A7, D minor again, G minor, so because you need a specific backing track for that, I recorded one, and it's a little bit slower than the original, but it's pretty close, so you can really practice on that track. So let's play that. There will be a link to that backing track in the description. And really try to swing it, right? Really try to make the lines swing. Let's go to the next phrase, or the next line. I'm gonna start on the previous system, the last bar. 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. So what should you pay attention to in this line? Look at the staccato dots on top of the D and the C sharp in the first bar. I like the staccato there because it gives some bite in the beginning of the solo. Then this triplet is pretty difficult to articulate. Maybe you could play it like this too. Maybe that's easier to articulate. But I usually play it like this. 2, 1 for 2. Now we get this typical D minor line that a lot of people play. And then we have an open string. And then we go to the A string. Right? So that open string is more like a ghost note. You can also play it without the open string. Then it would sound like this. 3, 4. So then the A on the first beat of the 4th bar becomes a staccato quarter note. So then if you just let go of the note and play the open D string, then you have an 8th note to fill up the gap, but it's more of a ghost note. You don't have to really articulate that D. So let's play until so far with the backing track. It's very easy to rush that end, to rush that part, so try to hold it back. I can hear myself rush too sometimes in that spot. So let's go to the next system. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's this G minor arpeggio in the second bar. And as always, when I play that particular arpeggio, I like to have this shape, this G minor chord shape, and I keep my fingers down. Right? I just let the notes ring. Now I think Django is actually playing the A on the B string, but of course he's playing with 2 fingers, so it's gonna look something like. So that's easier for him then to do. But because I'm playing it with my 4th finger, the D, it's easy for me to play that A on the E string, and it just sounds a little bit more powerful for me, so that's why I do that like that. And then I'm already in position for the next line. And actually we have to finish that line, so let's take these 2 systems. So we get previous bar, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's just a A7, typical A7 line down. That's a Phrygian dominant scale, or D minor harmonic with some chromatic notes in the beginning. To the C sharp, and then it's an ascending diminished arpeggio, and I play it like this: 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. But of course, if you want, you can also play it like this. It's just that I'm so used to this Stochler-Rosenberg system, fingering system for diminished, that I always prefer to do 1, 3, 1, 3. Now this line is your chance to really try and swing it, because it's all 8th notes. So watch the consistency of the 8th notes and don't rush. So that's the first complete chorus. Of course we have one more line at the end, but I want to talk about that when I talk about the next chorus. So let's just play this first chorus with the backing track. Really fun to play. And then we get something that's pretty difficult, so let's just remember this last bar. It goes like this: 3, 4, 1. But let's take a look immediately at the next system. 3, 4, 1. Three, 4, 1. So why is it so difficult? It's difficult because Django plays it in a rhythmically unexpected place. He starts on the one end of the previous bar, 3, 4, 1. And I like to do 1, 2, 2, and then bar my 2nd finger. And then we get this line that starts on the beat, on the 1. Then it starts on the 4 end, so we get the 2nd note on beat 1. Then it starts on beat 4, so we get the 3rd note on beat 1. And then it starts on the 3 end, so then we get the last beat on beat 1. And for some reason this is very difficult to play. It feels very unnatural in the beginning. What I did to practice it, of course, is playing with a metronome very slowly, but give an accent on beat 1 of the line. So let me exaggerate that a little bit so you can hear it. So in the first bar there is no 1, right? Because it starts on the 1 end, that's the previous bar, 1. Now you get an accent on the C sharp. Now you get an accent on the F. Now you get an accent on the C sharp. And now on the last F. So it's gonna sound like this: 3, 4, 1. And I want to make sure that that note on beat 1 is exactly aligned with a metronome on beat 1, or If you play with your foot, you can tap in 2 and then make sure that those notes align. 3, 4, 1. Until you start hearing it like that. And that's gonna take some time. I had to really practice this system pretty extensively for a couple of hours actually to make it work. And now I hear it like this, but in the beginning I couldn't really feel it like Django's playing it. And when you listen to the original recording, which you of course should do, there's a link in the description, you can hear it sounds very natural. So he was really feeling it like that. And it is possible to do, although in the beginning it might look like it's impossible. So let me play this from the beginning of the solo, because you need to hear this system in context of the previous chorus. So I'm still playing those slight accents on beat 1 just to make sure I'm locking in with the beat. Let's go to the next system. One, two, three. One, two, three. So it starts with this typical A7 line, going up to the flat 9 of A7, which is uncomfortable to play because it's on the same fret, that B flat, as the C sharp. So to make sure that you're hitting that B flat clean, you have to really put a round finger on the T sharp, so you have room for your first finger to play that note. Some vibrato on the B flat. As always, when you have those quarter notes, I call it the swinging quarter note, right? So staccato, short quarter notes, make sure that they're really on the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, ta 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 da da, right? So those 2 quarter notes are in the 3rd bar and in the 4th bar. 3, 4. Don't rush the triplet. Let's play that 2nd line with the backing track. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. So again, we have those swinging quarter notes in the 2nd bar. Then this really typical D minor 6 lick. If you want, you can play a triplet down to the B. But Django just plays, maybe that's more swinging actually to do it like that. This bar, make sure that that sweep is still swinging, that you don't play, that's sloppy. No, really articulate every note. Let's just continue on, so we can finish the chorus. So we get these really swinging triplets followed by a quarter note. 1, 2, 3. And again, it ends with those swinging quarter notes. Those are really important. Really try to lock them in with the beat. And also make sure that you're not rushing those triplets. Make them count. Taka-da-dum. Don't play. No. One, two, three. So let's play that complete 2nd chorus with the backing track. I just continued on and played the complete solo, so you have a nice preview for what my Patreon only lesson will be, where I'm going to talk about these really great last two choruses. Now, when you practice the first two choruses, don't start practicing immediately with the backing track. First, use a metronome. Very slowly, phrase by phrase, all 4 beats a click, then only 1 and 3, then only beat 2, beat 4, then only beat 2, then only beat 4. And work with the metronome like that until you can lock in with the metronome in those different patterns, and only then start practicing with the backing track. And the backing track will be pretty fast when you do that, so maybe you can go to YouTube, press the 3 little dots on the top right, and start with the backing track on half tempo, or maybe 75%. So that was it for this Gypsy Jazz Fridays. Of course, I'm gonna keep the camera rolling and immediately shoot the Patreon only episode, but for all of you on YouTube, until the next video. Bye!